Boss.
I like that you're talking about Combo Breaker too, because I mean, and not the tournament series, mind you, but I'm looking at these two characters at this matchup, and I'm thinking, when somebody gets hit, their stock will probably just be gone. Like I can't imagine that this is going to be a super. Yeah, be gone. Take this. Like, it's one of those matchups where, okay, Richter goes off stage, he's probably not making it back. Rob gets stuck in the corner. I mean, anybody gets stuck in the corner against Richter, die.
Absolutely. Dom is a player who has really brought that down to a science. The corner pressure has been labbed for literal years at this point. There's so much time spent figuring out how to keep this pressure going, how to utilize the utmost of this character and make sure that every opportunity is not squandered.
This is such an interesting matchup. I mean, you said it, not only because of the projectile play, but both of these competitors have to be masters, and they are masters when it comes to dealing with the oppression that the opponent can provide. You said it, Richter will pin you down and will not let you go, but Rob will do the same, and it all comes down to how they avoid the plethora of projectiles that we're going to be seeing thrown around, but also how they handle not only their own, but their enemies as well.
You talk about the plethora of projectiles. I feel like I'm watching Risk of Rain. Like, Dom's got a gyro, he's got the down B, the side B. Like, how are you supposed to get around it? And the answer is, Big Boss is playing Rob. He can get around whatever he darn well pleases because he can literally fly.
Yeah, I mean, even though Dom has such good corner pressure, a lot of times, Rob just can skip it. He's like, all right, you put pressure on the corner. What if there was no corner? What if I went over the top?
It's not for me. I'm not really about that life.
Yeah, maybe tomorrow.
Aegis Reflector? Oh my goodness.
We've seen that happen so many times before. Big Boss getting that Twitter clip so famous because of how he's so good at forcing you against a wall in a hard place. Whether you're caught up by the gyro, whether you're caught up by his confirms, his down tilts, it doesn't matter what goes up against you. Big Boss will try to keep you out there. The hatchet making its job, decapitating Big Boss as he tries to recover.
He jumped over the gyro right there with a down tilt. Love those little interactions.
Yes, Dom's ever famous, I will now take center stage button. It's not down tilt, it's not slide, no, it's center stage, please. One center stage, please.
Also a bit of a combo starter sometimes. You can hit that first hit into a returning cross, and oh man, don't get me started talking about Dom's combo videos.
We might have to, the way that this set goes on, because I mean, again, Dom gets his big man hands on, as Hazmat would say, good man hands on. We're talking about Richter, and things can go crazy.
I do love how Hollow Bastion has been the stage of choice here for the beginning of this set, in which both of them can actually Futuro! Just like that, the stock is taken. Big Boss making sure that the message gets sent. You've beaten me a couple of times before, but I'm here to change that with a beautiful conversion. Of course, unavoidable, unescapable, and oh my God, it hurts so much to watch. Of course, he's my boy from Mexico, but it's kind of painful no matter who it happens to.
I think it's so funny because with Richter in particular, there are a lot of characters that can get hit by that at 0 and live. They won't get blast zoned immediately, but Dom air dodged to the blast zone because he was like, I can't make that back. What do you want from me?
Yeah, basically.
He knew it was over. And yeah, something is happening right now. What's going on? They're switching sides. Okay. He's like, all right, Mom, it's my turn on the right side.
Or asking Dad. Happy Father's Day, by the way.
Oh, happy Father's Day.
Rocking the hi Dad tag as well.
Shout out to my dad. Love
Shout
that guy.
out.
Shout outs to my dad too. He drove me up this way. I spent some time with him leading up to this weekend down in San Diego. Caught a couple ball games with him.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was nice. I watched Shane McClanahan just throw 7 shutout innings against my Padres, but it's whatever. It's whatever. I got to come up here and I got to go to Wavedash and spend time with my dad. Happy Father's Day to all who celebrate.
It's a perfect way to end up a beautiful weekend, right? You had a lot of fun out of Smash venue, out of whatever what we like to call job. It's just beautiful to end up in a high note. Of course, people in chat were saying production being beautiful at just high standards, and that's exactly what we'd like to see. We had a bit of a technical issue that has been immediately solved. They switched sides, and now we're back into the fray. Pokemon Stadium 2. You know that the extra space will grant them a little bit of extra room to play with their projectiles.
In case, by the way, you were watching and wondering, wow, I feel like I have not seen a whole lot of Game 1 PS2. That's interesting. Because PS2 is not a starter. at this tournament, which
As
I
it
think
should.
is a great decision.
As it should, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, BS2 is such a polarizing stage, and a lot of people just sort of brain dead go to it. I mean, obviously not the players at the top level. Dom is making this decision very explicitly. He's like, I know what space I need, and I know how bad it is to be hit into the corner with just 1 or 2 interactions. You need to carry me all the way across. Oh, wow, okay, Dom.
That was custom.
Yeah, I think maybe he was hoping for a little bit more. But right now, all Big Boss needs is that little 1-2, up tilt, up air, and that first stock is his.
And you know what? Maybe customs are the way to go at this point because D3 Dom is struggling a little bit to get something started. Yes, he does get the bread and butters, you know, the cross to the Morning Star. Oh,
Yes,
just like
let's
that.
go.
See, he gets them. He gets it from time to time, but he needs to innovate in order for Rob to not download on what he's doing.
Well, and playing neutral game against Richter, and particularly against a guy like Dom, the first thing you have to think is when he throws...
Nice.
That was a really great
See?
catch, yeah, actually. When he throws that cross, especially like behind him and he's waiting for it to come back, your first thought should be, what are his options to hit me into that at this particular moment? Because that is what he is going to look for.
Yeah, Dom is always has that cross in mind, but sometimes it's just not enough as the jump gets sniped out, and that is it for Dom's second stock. That is one of the huge risks and one of the reasons why this matchup is very, very tough.
Yeah, not easy in the slightest for Dom, but of course, he's really got no other option but to try. I love that walk forward with the forward tilt, takes out the gyro as well, and now he's got his opportunity, again, to set up that ledge trap, but like we were talking about, Rob can literally fly, and so he does not have to play a game that most people can lose just based on matchup check. Like, oh, you don't play against a Richter every week, you're not going to win this set.
Yeah, also, Big Boss feels pretty comfortable and he knows what he can and can't do, so his recovery has been quite mixed. It's been the bane of D3 Dom's existence right now because every time he tries something different, Big Boss is ready for it. So now the upper will get the stock, of course. Nothing to be concerned about or surprised about. It's just the bread and butter about for Rob, and he executes it perfectly. He knows what to do, when to do it, and that's why Big Boss gets the second game in this set already.
One thing to talk about here is Big Boss's experience. Dom, I think this is his first top 8 at a large event, a large-scale event. He's done a lot of things in SoCal, but at a tournament of this scale, this is his first top 8 appearance.
Did he not make top 8 at that one summit he was at, or did he get 9th?
I do not believe he made top 8.
Okay,
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I know he did really well at that tournament.
he did very well. But yeah, I mean, this is Big Boss's, what, 47th top 8? I don't know. This guy has been top 8ing for the last few years, so I think that a little bit of nerves might be coming out for Dom. It's hard to say, but right now Big Boss is looking cool, calm, collected, and ready to boss you around.
I've literally never even seen Dom switch to Simon
This
before.
I've never seen this before in my life.
This is a breaking point.
And I've watched every single Dom set.
Ever?
No.
Impressive.
at a major. Every single Dom set at a major.
Okay, fair enough.
There you go. With Simon might be the case. He goes for the up B. Un saludo especial al Curodan, a homie from Mexico who does play Simon. So maybe he taps into this power, believing in the switch, might bring something different to the table. At least he was cooking something there that could have brought something different. But the fact that Rob and Big Boss here feel super comfortable being off stage, we know that's going to complicate things a little for the SoCal competitor.
By the way, that was a really good call out with that laser from Big Boss. He saw that crown go out, and he went, okay, you're probably going to jump over that so that you don't catch it. You can see if you can get a combo set up, maybe off of that forward air. So just sniping you out of the air with that laser, really, really smart stuff. Dom's movement's so clean, but it's just not enough. This character's so limited in the directions he can go, and the DI was not the direction that he needed to go either. So Big Boss is going to get out to the lead in this one.
Okay, such a scary position when when you're up a stock and Rob. Oh, okay, yeah, so close. When Rob respawns and has that gyro in hand, it's such a scary position because as we saw, it could just immediately lead to a death and it could be the end of your whole tournament. But Dom able to avoid that situation, able to get the kill, and able to move on and get a little bit of advantage here.
Yeah, looking absolutely sharp right now. Dom is just fading back, recognizing that Boss can just go burst on him immediately. So he's That's why he's opting to just go a little slower, just take it back, just waiting for Big Boss to pick an option, and so that he's ready to punish him just like that, forcing that holy water into the forward air, knowing that he can just get him off stage time and time again without risking too much. And those holy crosses are doing so much for T3 Dom right now.
Oh my goodness, the coverage from Dom is insane right now. This is what we normally expect to see from the Belmonts in a matchup. Even against Rob sometimes we think, man, sometimes you just don't get to play the game. And so far for the past 55 seconds, Big Boss has not gotten to play the game.
Yeah, Big Boss has not set foot on that Pokeball in the last minute at this point, and Dom has slowly built up this percent, but all of it is meaningless unless he can get the stock, which he still does not do at 159. These axes will likely do it if they connect, but we're still looking for one more, and the whip does it. Here we go.
You gotta love how patient Dom has been in this, what could be his potential last game. Those up Bs, we haven't seen them a lot, and that's allowing him not to get punished that much because Big Boss is ready to punish those, right? And you have to at this point. So Dom recognizes that it has been putting him in a very tough position earlier in the set. So now that he's not, and he's being more picky when those come out, he's just getting so much out of it. The stock is relinquished, and we're down to the potential last stock for T3 Dom in this tournament.
A down tilt on the platform at 77%, comboed into a kill for Big Boss, and that is the life of a Belmont. Sometimes your opponents, they got a little more than you, but oh man, the ideas were there.
Dom was just like a couple of frames too late to actually bounce Big Boss into that cross, and that's really unfortunate because he definitely had that setup scouted out. Not going to be able to get it off of that cross either, but Big Boss at 106 is getting real close. Like if he gets holy watered in the corner, that could be it.
One more opening for Big Boss, though, could also be it for T3 Dom for his whole bracket. We're at 2-0 for Big Boss. Dom really has to press B in the right way. Oh, good. Wait. The swing gets him out of that bad situation, and now he's in a good one with this ledge trapping. This is where he loves to be, sir.
Something extremely interesting about what Dom is doing is that he's not picking the gyro. He doesn't care for it. He's just waiting for it to dwindle down, to just have a good opportunity to set his traps, and that's exactly what a Belmont would love to do, right? Set those holy waters, set those the crosses, but this could be extremely dangerous. He misses, and that's the opportunity that T3 Dom needs. The axe goes out, the holy cross goes out, the fire goes out, but nothing takes the stock just yet.
Single frames are going each player's way in ways that could have changed the entire outlook of this game 3, but that's how close these two have been playing it. And again, it's one hit from either of these two that can do it, and just the sucker punch of the forward air gives Dom that game 3, and the crowd comes back to life.
What? Just press B is what the crowd says. Dom ended it with an A button, but that's all he needed. Even the weak whip was enough, Kimona.
It just came so quickly. I wasn't there was this game.
Yep. That's what happens sometimes when, you know, you're in those head circumstances. You're trying to dash back. You're trying to do something to avoid what they hit you with, and then suddenly you're DI'd in the blast zone, and you're like, oh man, I could have survived another 30%.
It's funny because people in chat, especially the Mexican ones, mis hermanos, mis amigos, they're blaming me for a Big Boss losing. They're like, "Sir, por favor."
It is your fault.
No es mi culpa. It's not my fault.
Give them a lo siento right now.
Lo siento, perdónenme. Discúlpenme. This time though, Big Boss will try to clean it up. However, will T3 Dom allow it? Apparently Simon, the better character than the Richter.
A better character in this match for sure. The thing about the Rob matchup is Dom actually does have some experience outside of Big Boss as well. He has taken down MK Leo's Rob before, so something that is not a small feat by any means.
Pero el jefe es el jefe. El jefe es el jefe. Big Boss
es
el jefe. Okay? Don't forget about that.
Okay, I'm not forgetting.
We'll see Big Boss though. I mean, trying to prove that once again, right? We're back to Hollow Bastion, and this is like second verse, same as the first.
That's not.
Just like we saw in the Chase Rat set, we go back to the stage that we started on, where that player who won that game 1 looked so dominant, and they got off to such a hot start again.
Yeah, unfortunately, T3 Dom struggling there at the beginning, right at the beginning of this, what could be his potential last set in the tournament. Big Boss feeling extremely comfortable using now his own projectiles against him, and now that we're in Hollow Bash, and you know that he will use that middle uni platform to just bunker down. So just wait for T3 Dom to make a mistake. No extension of the grab there. Could have been beautiful from T3 Dom.
That idea of dragging down with the nair into the grab, though, to maybe set up for a weird DI mix-up, right, where you don't expect to get grabbed after that nair. Dom goes for like a down throw. He could connect a tipper forward air right there. Wouldn't have taken the stock, but definitely could have put Big Boss in a position where now he has to contend with all this ledge trapping, which, like we talked about, is the piece de resistance of the Belmonts.
Yeah, he also has mix-ups with up throw, up air, where if you air dodge, he can sort of frame trap you. It's not quite true, but it works well enough on somebody who's not super experienced. Oh, adios. Bio is right. Just one interaction once again, and you pop into that gyro. It's just a setup for a free kill every time.
It's not looking pretty, and I don't want to be biased, but Big Boss feeling really good right now. Nothing to worry. Still on his first stock, 100%. The only way that a stock is taken here is if T3 Dom manages to land an axe here by the ledge, or maybe catch him in the holy fire. Still not the case. Big Boss regains the middle of the stage, hunkering down once again. Careful here. You don't want to get caught up in the wall of pain by Big Boss.
That was Dom realized he just needed to get his shield up to make sure that that gyro went away, because he could not afford to get caught in, like you said, between the rock and the hard place. Yeah. He has got to get some crazy comeback stuff started, and that back air might just be the exact beginning that he needs. Cross coming through to bail him out a little bit. Hold on. Dom's starting to get some momentum back.
Yeah, this corner pressure is going to need to amount to a whole lot. And Dom got a little lucky with the position of Big Boss's head, throws the gyro down, an extra layer to the ledge trap, but unfortunately for him, he lands on the platform, and Big Boss once again picks up this gyro and picks up center stage.
Yeah, those sub Bs from Simon, those have been the bane of his existence. At least whenever they whiff, that's where Big Boss knows that he can go in. That doesn't matter though, because T3 Dom is ready to retaliate, gets an up air to finally bring the stocks to an even ground. This is do or die for T3 Dom. The difference in percentage is not that huge. Kimona still perfectly doable for the representative of SoCal.
It is crazy that this has gotten back to even the way that it has, because we were looking at Big Boss being up 3 stocks to 1 and at like low 100% too, which is something that Rob can definitely deal with. But Dom catching a big back air right there. The jump got sniped as well, and Big Boss will take that to the bank, securing the second consecutive 3-1 victory we've seen in this top 8. It really came down to the wire, but the robot clutches up. He's a vampire slayer. He's not a robot slayer.
I guess so. And oh, that was so unfortunate. Just so many